we have a problem. The problem is Trump is so abysmal and so ridiculous, and he's failing so bad at being president that the bar is so low, the Democrats can also be uninspiring and ridiculous and still be up big in the polls. And that's exactly what we're seeing. So Trump failing on COVID, over 130,000 Americans now dead from COVID. The virus is still spreading like wildfire in many states around the country. You have the COVID new depression, which the real unemployment rate is over 20%. And we have a foreclosure and eviction crisis, which is right on the horizon. You have about over 30% of people haven't paid their payment for this month. So we're in trouble. And Trump is out there focusing on statues and pretending Biden is Antifa, and it's beyond absurd. And so there's no flashes of life in Trump's strategy. There's no holding Biden accountable. And since Trump's not running a good campaign, Biden just has to run a campaign that's ever so slightly better than Trump's horrendous campaign, and then he's all set. So that leads me to the Democratic coalition. So there was an ad released by the Democratic coalition. There's a video of kids saying the Pledge of Allegiance. That's all the ad is. It's just like a bunch of kids saying the Pledge of Allegiance, and it's a pro-Biden thing. And they tweeted the following: "It's not about policy. It's not about personality. It's not about political party. This election is a referendum on self-governance, democracy, and the rule of law. Hashtag Biden pledges allegiance to the U.S." Now, who are the Democratic coalition? Well, it says, we help run hashtag the resistance and establish the impeachment task force. We campaign for Dems, fight foreign influence, and have unrivaled online organizing program. Okay, so let's break this down piece by piece. If this was one of the groups that was big on impeachment, well, congratulations. You guys gave Donald Trump a giant gift. If anything, the failed impeachment helped him because he bounced up in the polls afterwards, just like I told you was going to happen. So, in other words, they're bragging about being massively ineffectual and trying to take down Trump, and if anything, they helped him. They helped him. And then, of course, they have the little dog whistle about, oh, we want to fight foreign influence in our elections. That means we're, Russiagate-obsessed freaks, and we focus on all the wrong things, and we are basically corporate Democratic hacks who believe in nothing. And then, listen, we don't have to speculate any further, because the most important point, as I'm sure all of you noticed the second I read it, is that in the very tweet that's a Biden ad, they say, quote, "It's not about policy." It's not about policy. It's not about policy. See, this is the exact kind of politics that drives me crazy. Because you have these people who use this stuff as a shield. So they'll go out there and say, "Good sir, this is about character." Yay! So they'll argue it's about character, it's about civility, it's about decorum, it's about professionalism. Now notice something. You can have somebody who outwardly appears to be very civil and to be very professional and very presidential, but they could still be terrible. They could still be a war criminal. They could still be a torturer. They could still be an economic deregulator. They could still be beholden to the oligarchs. So all of that stuff is window dressing and doesn't matter. But I'm here to tell you guys, that's the point. Which gets back to the original thesis, which is these people have no intention of doing Medicare for all. They have no intention of doing a Green New Deal. They have no intention of legalizing marijuana and freeing the nonviolent drug offenders. They have no intention of raising wages or expanding unionization. They have no intention to do any of that. And they're basically letting you know up front. It's not about policy. It's not about policy. So we're just going to, pretend to act all professional, and we're going to support Biden. That ad was one of the silliest ads I've ever seen, just pulling on your patriotism heartstrings. It's just a bunch of kids saying the Pledge of Allegiance. They put hashtag Biden pledges allegiance to us. I mean, this is the unwinnable situation we're in. Trump's campaign is so bad. Trump's presidency is so bad He's running on frickin' statues and Biden is Antifa or something. So now they've made it a layup for the Democrats, where Biden gets to go out there and say nothing and believe in nothing and advocate for nothing, and his people, like the Democratic coalition, same thing, and he's still up massively. We are in quite a pickle. It's a lose-lose situation for the left. Because Biden, quite accurately at this moment, realizes I don't really need him that much. I'll just keep picking off like older suburban voters, senior citizens. So that strategy is only working simply because it's an anti-Trump election cycle. Simply because the guys in power are so hideous that people would vote for a ham sandwich over the guys in power at this point. But, and probably the most damaging aspect of all this, the most damaging aspect of the era, is that this kind of politics will be validated if/when Biden wins. Because then they get to turn around and say, hey, lefties, you guys lost. Bernie Sanders lost. Biden won. You know what that is? That's a validation of Biden's politics. So that's a validation in their minds of, quote, it's not about policy. And then you spawn a generation of new neoliberal corporatists like the Mayor Petes, who will go out there, talk a lot, say nothing, move their mouth, but nothing substantive comes out. It's all vapid window dressing, airy-fairy nonsense. And we live in hell. That's what this is. We live in hell. Now you guys realize why I get so animated on the show. Because I want the left to win. I want our ideas to be implemented. I want to actually fix this country and improve people's lives. Stop bombing innocent people overseas, end the wars, raise wages, give people more power, more happiness. And we keep losing. We keep losing because of bad strategy, lack of cohesiveness and commitment. And we got routed by these clowns. These guys. It's not about policy. The same idiots that brought us impeachment, which helped Trump, are turning around and saying, no, we got this from here. The tweet about our ad is going to say, it's not about policy. Even the fact that they say it's about democracy and rule of law, really? Well, Biden was vice president and you guys didn't prosecute torturers. You guys didn't prosecute war criminals. You guys didn't prosecute Wall Street criminals. You let them off the hook. So it's not really about rule of law because you abandoned rule of law. Could have upheld it. You guys abandoned it. This is their way of saying, we don't have to say anything. We don't have to do anything. This is like this is like dancing on your way into the end zone. It's just showboating. It's like, we're going to rub it in your face that we're not about anything. We got the Bloods in power now. Well, we're the Crips, and we're going to rep that. It's not about policy. It's not about fixing anybody's lives. It's not. So you're going to take it. We're going to win, and you're going to take it. I mean, that's how I view this. That's how I'm reading this. So, view this segment for me as a desperate cry for the left to get their act together, because I can't afford to watch Republicans win anymore, or watch corporate Democrats, neoliberals like this win.